Just up here doing this little siding job real quick. Cutting out some panels, put some new panels in, you dig, making it look good. Some complex out here in Alameda, you know. All the cuts is being made, the pieces come up to me now. I'm up high, getting ready to put them up. Now let's say something's off. I don't care if it's off a quarter of an inch. A quarter of an inch. Well, guess what? I have to check my numbers and see what I wrote down. And I have to make sure I go to my cut man and really say, this measurement was, I measured it at a certain length. And I wrote it down to be that same certain length. So, what you got down there? And let's say his number might be a little off from mine. Well, that's going to show you where the mistake's at. Or it could be vice versa. You know, I could be and wrote the wrong number. You know, I'm not afraid to I'm not afraid to admit that I would, you know what I'm saying, probably be wrong because I make mistakes. There is no professional who says that they're absolutely perfect and they don't make mistakes. That's a lie. That is a lie. And I'm going to tell them that. It's a lie. I'm going to look you in the face and tell you it's a lie. You know, we are prone to make mistakes because we can get in the zone. We can get into something that we love to do. Oh man, I can't wait to get into it. You know, I'm ready to rock and roll, you know. And as soon as you get into it, you are so zealous. You are so zealous for wanting to get it done, you might make a mistake. Happens all the time. Happens to me too, you know. So it happens to everybody, you know. So specifics. You have to work on specifics. A lot of people have to develop that. One thing in the trade that I really love about the trade, you know, it's no matter who I'm working with. It could be an electrician, it could be a plumber, it could be the other carpenters, and I'm just a drywaller, you know. We all have to work together, you know. They may ask me something of what's about to happen, you know, and I can specifically tell them, well, you know, as far as I know, they got this going here, they got this going there. I think this might come out to this right here, but don't quote me on that. You might want to go check with my foreman and make sure that, you know, and make sure it's right, you know, because I really, you know, I'm not in control of the layout or what's going on. You might have to talk to my foreman and see what's happening, you know. It's just simple as that, you know. That's how I get down, you dig? Specifics, man. A lot of people need to really get that, man. I mean, it's not a hard thing to try to figure out, man. Specifics is it's the tool that we need in order to make sure that we keep everything in a concurrent cycle. That way we can continue to feed each other with positive information, you know, with positive information. You know, I mean, it's something that's so quintessential, man. We need to grab a hold of that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's something that we need to grab a hold of and make it a part of our own being, you know? I mean, it's like I said, it's nothing hard about it. It's just a matter of knowing how to work well with that and being able to speak clearly and clarify everything that's being told to somebody. If you want what you want heard, if you want to be heard, and if you want to be you know, if you want to be that person who wants to be heard and you want exactly what you have just spoken of, then you have to be specific. Same way when you pray. When you pray to God, you have to be specific. You have to know exactly what you're praying for. Now, there's something else that you may not pray for. Your heart's going to give another prayer to God. But when you pray, you have to be specific. When you make a vow to God, you have to be specific. Because if God comes to you, if He tell you anything, He is going to be specific. It's just the bottom line. It don't work no other way, you know. That's the way we roll. You know what I'm saying? That's the way we roll, man. People need to take the time to know how to break down some things, to break it down to the simplest, to where people can really understand them. You know, some people understand it is fast. Some people understand it might be slow. Some of them are mediocre. But you got some, you know, who can take information and run with it. You know, and straight run with it. You know, but like I say, you got to be genuine and you got to be real with everything you say, you know. A lot of people do not have the time or the patience to be specific with one another. This is what causes a lot of breakdown in communication. We have to get back to a solid base, man. That's got to stop. That has got to stop, man. It's got to be eliminated because without that, man, it's going to be too many more people going to jail. It's going to be too many, you know, it's going to be more graves to dig. And, you know, I mean, come on, man. I mean, at some point, that's got to stop, you know. We all have to come to a better understanding, man, of knowing how to operate with people, you know. And this is what this is all about, you know. This is what this is all about, you dig? So with that, I just wanted to holler at y'all about that, you dig? So hey, You know, take in consideration with that, man. Specifics, man. It's the greatest thing that we need to be able to reach out to everybody. You know, if you want people to work with you, if you want to work with other individuals, you gotta be specific, man. If you want people to understand exactly what you're trying to say, you have to be specific. There's no other way to put that. You know, if you don't want nothing to go against the grain, if you want it to be a smooth sailing thing, when you speak to somebody, you have to be specific. You got to. It's just the bottom line. It can't work no other way. I mean, it's not gonna work well no other way. You know, I mean, simple as that today. So I just wanted to run that to you real quick. So with that, I'm gonna holler back at you. I hate you dig, but it's all a part of the hustle, man. This is what I do, you feel me? It's all good, man, you feel me? I mean, it's all good, man. I love doing this shit, man. This is a no-brainer for me, man. No-brainer. This is fun, man. You gotta love it. I can't do none of the work that I'm doing. I can't do none of the work that I'm doing without nothing being specific, you know, whether it's anything, you know. I think just last week out there in Palo Alto, it's sad to say that a construction worker lost his life. You know, I think he fell off an I-beam, you know what I'm saying? And it's tragic, you know what I'm saying? It's very tragic, you know. I mean, like I say, man, the things I do every day, from the work that I do, the jobs I be on, you know, I'm not guaranteed to go home that day, you dig? I'm not guaranteed to go home, you know, so that's why specific, man, for everybody to be specific on things, that's the way to go, you dig? I mean, that's just the way to do things. So, I mean, you know, everybody got to get to that. Everybody got to get to that, you dig? So with that, I mean, I just got to spit that to you real quick, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm sorry to see that the dude lost his life. You know, he'll never be here again. He will never have another chance to come back here and do it over, you know? So he only have one time. Yep, everybody, this is the job I'm on right now, you dig? It's a cool little gig, you know, it's right off of Gulf and Fulton, you dig? It's right here on the corner, you dig? It's a cool little job, you know? Got a lot of drywall to hang up in here, you know, this is gonna be cool, you dig? I can't wait to get at it, you dig? Right now, I'm building shaft walls right now. Gotta be good with numbers, and from what I see, a lot of folks are good with numbers. They're great with numbers. So now we get ready to turn that numbering system that they have, and we're gonna put it to a better purpose. Now, what I have behind me is a diagram of a tape measure. It's just a diagram of a tape measure, you know. This is one of the standardized tools in building. You can't do nothing without it. Unless you're just sweeping the broom, unless you're sweeping the floor with a broom, or, you know, just being a laborer, putting stuff away and stuff like that, or being a, you know, stocker scrapper, you know, then you wouldn't need this, you dig? But to be a builder, you have to have a tape measure, because you have to pull measurements and you got to know how to read the numbers, okay? Now, we're going to break down this thing here. Like I said, we're going to do this thing a whole lot different. We're going to do this thing a whole lot different. There's no organization, there's no classroom that you know of right now that's going to bring this to you the way I'm bringing it to you. Obviously, they might not supposed to tell it to you in this fashion, but I'm going to be the one to do it. So, we're going to look at it in terms like this. Alright? If we're selling dope, we're going to look at it as dope. Now, we're going to go now. I got a tape measure behind me that I drawn out 3 inches. We're going to use 1 inch. We're going to go up to 1 inch first, because they got all the numbers in between from 0 to 1 inch that I need to highlight. So we're going to look at 1 inch like 1 ounce.
You are